This is grilled cheese month. So for this Maker Monday, we are going to be making grilled cheese. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so right here we have everything we need to make our grilled cheese. We have a stove, a pan, and a spatula to flip the grilled cheese, bread, cheese. I like Havarti, it's my favorite, but you can use whatever kind of cheese you have. Slices are good. You can also do shredded if that's what you have to work with. It can be a little trickier, but we can make it work. And butter, as well as a plate and a butter knife. And then a lot of people like to add something to make it a little more of a moist sandwich, so you can add mayo, or I'm probably going to use some Dijon mustard because I don't like mayo. But let's go ahead and turn on the stove and get going. Alright, so what we want to do first is turn on the stove, turn on this front burner, and let it light up. I've got a gas stove, so I'm going to turn the flame to kind of a middle-ish. If you have an electric stove, turn it to kind of your medium setting. We'll go ahead and set the pan on there, and we're going to go ahead and start melting the butter. Melting the butter we're going to use to cook our grilled cheese in. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and open my stick of butter, unwrap it a little bit here at the end, and we're going to cut off about half a tablespoon. Nice pat like that, and drop that in, and while that melts, we can go ahead and assemble our sandwich. So, the way sandwiches work, obviously, first you want bread. Open that up. Got 2 slices of bread, and you can use whatever kind of bread you have or like. I'm going to go ahead and give this a swirl while it melts. And now, what we'll do is go ahead and get a little bit of this Dijon mustard on the bread and spread it really thin. That just kind of keeps your sandwich from getting too dried out while you grill it. And I find it easier to melt the butter and then put the sandwich on the buttered pan than try to spread butter on the sandwich. And it doesn't have to be butter. If you have like margarine or vegetable oil spread or something, that works too. But now that we've got our bread with our mustard or mayo if you prefer, I'm going to go ahead and get 2 slices of cheese. And like I said, this is Havarti, which is my favorite. Throw the paper in the trash. I'll put a slice on each side, and then put those sides together. And now we just need to grill the sandwich. Oh, got some mustard on my finger. No longer a problem. Alright, so now that that's melted, go ahead and drop your sandwich in. I spread it around to get a little butter kind of spread around on it. And if you listen, you can kind of hear it starting to sizzle. I might turn it up just a tick. You don't want to turn it up too high or it'll burn the outside of the sandwich and not get your cheese melted. And melted cheese is, to me, the main goal of grilled cheese. I'm going to set my knife back on my plate here. And let's see, we might need a little more butter when we flip it, so I'm not going to put that up just yet. But anytime you're kind of waiting in between steps is a good time to kind of clean up your workstation a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and marvel at how bread ties are just immediately lost when removed. So I'm going to do the twist and tuck and seal the cheese back up. That I will go ahead and put back in the fridge. And the mustard we are also done with. Let's see, oh, it's starting to smell good. It smells kind of buttery and toasty, which is the goal. Scoot it around a little and see if I can kind of peek underneath it. Alright, it looks perfect. So I'm going to get a little bit more butter to put in the pan. To make a nice sizzle. And then I'm going to kind of run it in the middle and flip the sandwich into that. And look at that, that's gorgeous. Nice and golden brown. And that is how I like my grilled cheese. If you like it more done, you can cook it longer. Less done, cook it less. That's how cooking works. And usually the second side, especially on the first one, you can do more than one. The first one, the second side will not take nearly as long as the first side, just because usually I'm impatient and the pan isn't totally warmed up. Alright, so I'm going to give this just a little while on that side, and then it should be ready to come back off. And I'm not pressing very hard because you don't want a flat sandwich, or at least I don't. If you do, squish away. Just do around a little, make sure it gets all the butter it can. And you can kind of see the cheese right along this edge is melting and drooping down. That's another thing you want to check. See if you can kind of lift it up, because you want to ensure that the cheese is all melted together. And with 2 slices, you should have kind of an extra cheesy grilled cheese. And, you know, can't have too much cheese. At least I can't. Alright, so it's starting to feel like when I slide it, it feels a little more solid on that bottom side. And, oh yes, it is done. Turn off the stove and remove it from the pan. I'm going to let it sit for just a second. And then the final thing I always do to my grilled cheese, with my butter knife here, I will cut it diagonally, because for some reason, when cut diagonally, grilled cheese just tastes better. Alright, and you have your grilled cheese. I should have done one of those cool, like, cheesy pull-apart things, but that didn't really happen. But it's a nice grilled cheese, and it goes well with chips, pickles, you know, whatever kind of snacks you've got to put with it. They're also really good with soup, especially tomato soup. But enjoy your grilled cheese and celebrate Grilled Cheese Month in April. See you guys next time.